In a tent, Sasha is using glue to mend the numerous wounds on her fingers. Then she looks outside, revealing that the tent is hanging on the side of a mountain in Norway. As soon as her boyfriend Tommy wakes up, she asks him to continue their adventure. The couple keeps climbing the mountain with great skills that prove they've been doing this for a long time. They only pause to snack or yell in excitement, although there's the occasional kiss too. Moments later, as they're about to reach the top, Sasha slips off. She also playfully punches his back when he says it hurts. In the end, they agree to leave and come back after the storm is gone. The wind is causing lots of debris to fall, so they have to stay close to the wall and keep their heads down. Tommy says they should rest on the ledge, so Sasha goes down first. Suddenly bigger rocks start falling and one of them hits Tommy, causing him to go down and hit his head. He hangs unconscious at the end of the rope, and Sasha has to grab it so she won't fall along. She yells at him but his still isn't working, so she asks Ben for the best way to reach Grand Isle Narrows. Ben gives her the directions she asks for but also tells her about Blackstone Bay, which in his opinion is a much better place. He warns her that the area can get a bit intense, but Sasha assures him she can handle it and drives off without letting him finish. After many hours of driving, Sasha stops by a lake to spend the night. Suddenly 2 more cars park nearby and Sasha is irritated to see that the hunters are back. Their dog keeps barking at her while the men handle the deer they killed. Sasha picks up her things and gets in her car before a guy knocks on her window. She ignores him until he leaves. Thankfully the men leave in the middle of the night and she can sleep in peace. The next morning, Sasha gets on her kayak and paddles down the raft. When she returns to her tent, she's startled by a snake. Afterward she continues kayaking and finds a boat abandoned near a path, so she decides to investigate. Among the trees, there's a small camp and Ben, who is very happy to see her. Sasha explains she lost all her things including her food and phone, so Ben blames it on the wombats and shares his food. While they have some fish, Sasha asks why Ben named his jerk beef Genos. Ben explains it's his mother's name and quickly changes the subject. He shows her that he collects water from trees and shares it with her too. Sasha keeps asking questions, so Ben explains he's originally from Britain and that he comes here at least twice a week. His mother brought him here as a kid and he fell in love with it. When Sasha tells him she's now doing rivers because she's done with mountains, he starts paddling. As soon as the song ends, Ben starts moving as well, keeping an eye on Sasha by running along the shore. The current is quite strong and ends up throwing Sasha down the waterfall, so her kayak is overturned. After some struggle to disconnect the harness, Sasha grabs her bag and swims to the nearest land while her kayak floats away. Since her wet jacket is quite heavy, Sasha gets rid of it and starts running again. As she crosses the forest, she hears a family chatting and immediately searches for them, only to find a phone playing a video. It shows Ben saying hi to one of the families he's killed. Suddenly an arrow flies near Sasha, who dodges it just in time and hides behind the rocks. Make her way up. After a few dangerous moves, she makes it to the top and admires the view of the entire area. Using her binoculars, she notices that Ben's boat is still near the path. At that moment she hears Ben's hunting call and sees him coming up the hill. He even stops moving just to smile at her. Sasha immediately goes down the canyon and hides under a rock, staying still for a few seconds while Ben peeks inside. Since he doesn't see her, he leaves, and Sasha can come out to run again. Once she finds a safe spot, Sasha takes out her binoculars and discovers that Ben is near his boat. While listening to music, he keeps jumping into the water without any clothes on. Sasha decides to get in the river too and very carefully swims underwater until she reaches the boat. Hiding behind it, she tries to untie it to no avail. Then she tries to get the other end of the Ben stays in his tent but Sasha is left under the tree. He explains that rituals are very important because they remind people of who they are. He also thinks enduring pain is a part of growing up and mentions a tribe that files down their own teeth to sharp points. The next morning, Ben handcuffs Sasha and ties her to the boat to take her away, but he won't tell her where they're going. He reveals he got her name from the ranger's office and did some research, so he knows that Tommy is dead. Ben thinks it's strange that an experienced climber like Tommy fell, trying to imply that Sasha was behind his death. At that moment Sasha notices an iron bar hidden under some ropes and tries to grab it, but Ben immediately pushes her off the boat. Sasha tries to swim away, however Ben keeps paddling and the chain drags her through. Sasha notices the pieces of flesh that were left to dry and realizes he's been making beef jerky from human bodies. Sasha panics and tries to run, but Ben pulls the chain to bring her in and takes off her shoes, telling her to rest. Then he asks if he has a problem, so Sasha theorizes that people have hurt him and tries to offer her sympathies. Suddenly Ben pulls out his fake teeth, revealing that his real ones are pointy and sharp. He puts Sasha's fingers in his mouth so she can feel them, and when she asks him to stop, he runs away. Not knowing what to do, Sasha looks around and finds a suitcase with old objects, including a picture of baby Ben with his mother. At that moment Ben comes back and drags her deeper into the cave, where he uses a contraption to hang her by her wrists. Then he opens a barrel of homemade salt brine, causing Ben to hit his head and fall unconscious. Now the chain gets stuck on a branch underwater, so Sasha tries to disconnect it from his harness. Unfortunately she can't, so she moves the chain and swims to the surface with Ben. Afterward she grabs a rock and tries to break the chain to no avail. At that moment Ben wakes up, so Sasha runs to push him underwater to try to drown him. Since he's stronger than her he manages to resurface, so Sasha starts choking him with the chain instead. Ben knocks her down and keeps her close using the chain, then he sits on her to choke her in return. Sasha can only struggle for a few minutes before her body weakens, and seeing her face full of suffering reminds Ben of his mother, making him let go of her. Immediately Sasha takes the chance to punch him and grabs the rock to repeatedly bang it on his leg. Crazy, but she points out that if they don't, he'll die of an infection. Seeing no other options, Ben gives her the harness so she can lead the climb. He promises to set her free at the top, but if she tries to push him while they climb, he'll bring her down with him. Then he finally takes off her handcuffs. Sasha organizes and ties all the ropes, creating a booster for his broken leg. The climbing begins and once again Sasha proves she has great skills even while barefoot. When Ben is out of sight, she tries taking off the harness, but Ben notices her arm movements and immediately pulls the ropes to make her fall. Sasha kicks his broken leg as punishment, saying she had only been adjusting the harness. As the climbing continues, now Sasha can climb back on the ledge and untie the ropes, letting Ben fall to his death. Although she has no equipment, Sasha keeps on climbing, making risky moves and slipping off a few times. However, she never gives up and recovers from every mistake until she finally makes it to the top. She lies down to rest and laughs in relief, but it soon turns into tears. Then she walks for hours and reaches the path at night, where a car finally sees her and rescues her. The drivers agree to take her back to her vehicle. In the morning, Sasha returns to the reception and tells the ranger where to find all the missing people. Sometime later, the authorities retrieve all the bodies and the incident appears on the news. When Sasha is allowed to leave, she goes to the beach and kisses Tommy's compass before throwing it into the sea, finally letting